you? What's going on? It's me, Shelby, here to chat for a little bit. I've been debating on whether or not I wanted to film this video. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if you can hear outside. They're doing yard work apparently right now, so sorry if you can hear that. Yeah, today I want to talk to you guys about my diagnosis and just compile some information about bipolar disorder just for informational purposes. I thought it might be interesting to tell you guys about my experience and then just a little bit about bipolar disorder and how, if you're somebody with a loved one who has the disorder, how you can help them in the process of what they're going through. So let's talk a little bit about what I went through. So in November, I had a manic episode, and I will insert a clip here of what I was like.
Okay, I'm sitting here fucking crying. Y'all wanna know the funniest shit ever? The funniest shit ever? My dad, the director of the Goofy movie, fucking has my name tattooed across his chest. It says my name, my first name, in cursive. We'll talk about the typeface later. I'm 28 years old. I'm gonna be turning 29 next year. Holy shit. I do not know that man. I don't know him. Who are you? You have my literal name. I guess it's good it's not my last name, because it could be any Shelby out there. And you, literally don't know me. You have to wake up every day, change your clothes, and see my name on your body every day. And who are you? Nice to meet you. I'm your daughter. You have my name tattooed on you. Get out. You're done.
Okay, sometimes I get really scared because people have boomer. Okay, now you really know I'm a millennial. But okay, so what was I even gonna fucking say? Shit, hold on. I remember. Okay, I get really scared about people having egos and too much power. And you know how we're always talking about how the planet's fucked, Bezos has too much money, fucking these men are too rich, how did they own the planet, how did they get this rich, blah blah blah. Agreed. But also, how is Facebook and Instagram and all that shit, why do they let them advertise? Why do they let Amazon and Walmart and stuff and anybody affiliated with them advertise on their platform? Couldn't they pull the power back and be like, bitch, you're selling your shit on our shit, we don't like you? That's what I get nervous about. Is what if the higher ups at Walmart, or I didn't say that for no reason. Oh, I'll have to cut that out. Oh, what if someone at Walmart, what if the highest person at Amazon was a dick and then had a fight with the highest person at Instagram? But I don't know, I guess they both probably suck, but
Having a manic episode, I took multiple videos on TikTok, and I was clearly not in my normal state of mind, and I wasn't aware of what I was going through. I ended up having a manic episode that led into full-on psychosis, and my partner had to take me to the hospital, where I was not coming out of psychosis for multiple hours. So I ended up getting transported to a mental health facility, and I stayed there for 2 weeks, being monitored and medicated and all of the fun stuff that they do. So yes, that is what happened to me. I was then in the facility diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder. considered, I didn't have too bad of an experience. I did feel ostracized and just not understood a lot of the time. And because I was having, hold on a minute, you could turn off my AC. Okay, so the word for the type of nerve pain I was having is actually called akathisia. And let me look it up really quick. Akathisia is defined as an inability to remain still. It's a neuropsychiatric syndrome that's associated with psychomotor restlessness. The individual with akathisia will generally experience an intense sensation of unease or an inner restlessness that usually involves the lower extremities. For me, it was my arms, my legs, every single extremity I had. I was in discomfort all the time, and I could not explain this to anybody. And until my doctor was like, "You're describing akathisia," I thought I was just fucking crazy and that I was gonna feel like this forever, because obviously I had to be on medication or else I would go back into a psychotic episode. Now, if you've never experienced a psychotic episode, it is where reality is just no longer something that you're tied to. I was having what they call ideas of reference, which is where you're watching something and you think that they're talking about you, or you think that they're referencing you, or in some way that you're tied to this media that you're consuming, and it's very fucking scary. I was just not in reality. That's the only way I can explain it. I got very OCD when I was in the hospital. I was counting everything that I did. I felt so much more comfortable when I was able to count my steps to each location, count how much water I was intaking. I was really, really bad at eating while I was in the hospital. I lost like 10 pounds, I think, just from wanting to control something. Like, I just needed something to be in my control, and the only thing I had was the food I was eating, which obviously whenever you're in a facility, they monitor your food intake, so that was very difficult. I just feel like while I was there, I was put on the wrong medication, and it made me a version of myself that I didn't like, and thank goodness now I'm actually on medication that's working for me, so thank you. Let's go ahead and get into what bipolar disorder is. So I took some notes, and I will leave links below to everything that I'm referencing. I think there's 3 videos that I watched that I got information from, so let's just go over what bipolar disorder is. So bipolar disorder is a mood disorder, and there's a lot of stigma about bipolar disorder. I'm sure you guys have heard whenever somebody is having any sort of adverse mood, they're like, "Oh, are you bipolar?" That's not what bipolar disorder is. It is a large range of moods with extremes. It can be a low extreme and it can be a high extreme. The low would be depression, which entails a low mood, anhedonia, which is a loss of interest in doing things, diet disturbance, sleep disturbance, low energy, psychomotor retardation, inappropriate guilt, loss of concentration, and thoughts of death or suicide. That's depression. That's a depressive episode. Then there's also mania. Sometimes can be considered hypomania, which is a lesser form of mania, and mania is severe and impaired functioning, may feature psychosis, diminished need for sleep, sense of grandiosity, pressured speech, racing thoughts and ideas, distractibility, goal-oriented behavior, excessive pleasure-seeking attitude like spending lots of money, having lots of sex, gambling, things like that. Mania can last 3 to 7 days, and hypomania can last 3 to 4 days, but is less severe, okay? Bipolar 1, the only thing you need to be diagnosed with it is 1 episode of mania, and bipolar 2, you have to have 1 depressive episode and 1 hypomanic episode. Now, for bipolar disorder, the lifetime prevalence is 1 to 3%. It also affects men and women 1 to 1, so it's not more prevalent in one gender versus the other. And the typical onset onset is late adolescence and early adulthood. There is a genetic link between family history and increased risk of bipolar disorder, which is, it's 10 times more of a risk if you have a first-degree family member who's affected. 15 to 30% if you have one parent, and 50 to 75% if you have both of your parents with bipolar disorder. There are things that affect it, like environmental factors. It can be stress like death or illness, relationship trauma, and financial instability. The treatments include psychotherapy like CBT, interpersonal therapy, and psychoeducation, so getting educated on what bipolar disorder entails, and then medication, which can be mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, and antidepressants. Now, I got this from Polar Warriors, which is a great YouTube channel if you're interested in learning more about bipolar disorder. I will link the video down below, but he gave 10 tips for how to help someone with bipolar disorder, and I think that they're very helpful. So the first one is be a helpful conductor of activity. So sometimes friends or social situations can feed mania because you're wanting to spend money, you're wanting to eat lots of food, you're wanting to do things that are not typical for your homeostasis. So sometimes people can feed that part of your disorder, and I think it's just good as a friend or a family member of someone with bipolar disorder to recognize when they might be manic and to maybe not feed into their irrational behaviors, you know what I mean? The second one is to set boundaries for bad behavior. So, you know, if somebody crosses a line with you, just make sure that the consequences are clear. Number 3 is have a simple, clear plan for the bad times. And me and Brian have this. I'm very open with him on if I'm having psychosis and if I'm feeling any sort of way, just so we know, okay, we need to contact the doctor. Okay, we might need to go to the hospital. So have a clear plan if things get bad. Number 4 is to help them notice the changes in their behavior, not in a contradictory way, but just in a informative, helpful manner. Number 5 is learn as much as you can about bipolar disorder. As I said, I'm linking things down below if you're interested in learning more. I don't feel like you can learn enough, to be honest, and for me personally, I really just don't like when people link my disorder to bad behaviors, like things that have happened in their past or family members who might be diagnosed. I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. All I am responsible for is my behavior, and just because I have this disorder does not mean I'm an irrational, crazy person, you know what I mean? Number 6 is document their moods if you're permitted to. I use an app that I will link down below. It's called E-Moods, and it really helps me. You can track your sleep, which is very, very important for bipolar disorder. You track your extreme highs, extreme lows, and if you're having psychotic episodes, and you can track irritability. So I highly recommend that for people who are actively seeking treatment, because you can take that graph, it gives you a graph, to your doctor and show them the range in your moods. Number 7 is know your place and don't play doctor. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Number 8 is have a plan for manic episodes, as I was kind of discussing before. And this can also go for depressive episodes. If somebody is reclusive or isolating themselves, maybe being, a little bit more proactive about getting them out and pushing them outside of that difficulty or that whatever they're isolating themselves for, Number 9 is avoid caretaker burnout, which is a huge thing. Brian talks about it all the time, feeling like he has to be everything all the time for me, and that's not true. So just try to avoid burning yourself out with helping your friend or family member who has bipolar disorder. And the last one, number 10, is to take advantage of the shifting moods by encouraging them to move forward with their own care. That is the 10 tips I have for you for helping someone with bipolar disorder. I will, like I said, link below the video that I got all this information from. And I really just hope that this helps somebody out there. If you're struggling, I feel you. It's been a very difficult road for me to get to a better place mentally, and if you're going through that, just know that I see you and I feel for you. I really hope that this helped somebody out there understand a little bit better about bipolar disorder, and if it did, give it a like, give me a comment, whatever you feel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.